240.
That's 240, flex at 616.
Looks like we're about 25 miles west of Myrtle Beach.
Delta 1768, clear to Kingston.
Right, Kingston, Delta 1768.
31 for 1858 heavy.
North American 1858, thank you.
And Pilatus 900 Del Sierra is 25 miles west of Myrtle Beach at flight level 250, reporting smooth flight.
900 Hotel Sierra, thanks for reporting.
I don't know if a jet's going to go down to 250, but, you know, if it's a turboprop at 310 or 330 getting bounced around, you give them a report of smooth flight at 250, they may come down to 250 for the smoothness. You never know. Airspeed's looking good, you know. Ground speed's picking up, it's good.
Like I said, 616, contact Jackson at 134.37.
13437, flex at 616.
North American 1858, send and maintain about 240.
240, 1858, thanks.
AC 4144, contact Washington Center on 118.902.
1892, good day, AC 4144.
North American 1858, contact Jack Center 134.37.
3437, 1858.
Delta 1768, turn to 15 degrees right, be exit descending traffic.
Alright, 15 degrees right, it'll be 050 heading, Delta 1768.
Thank you.
Texas 734, 330.
Texas 734, Jack Center, good evening.
זה הטוב של הזמן.
Yep.
Delta 1768, clear to Kingston again, thank you.
Right, Kingston, Delta 1768.
Okay. Let's look at electric trim runaway. What's electric trim runaway? Basically, the trim starts spinning and gets out of control. The autopilot disconnects.
Right.
And out of a sudden the airplane is going to pitch nose down or nose up, depending on which way it's runway trim. So, the first thing you want to do is trim interrupt, switch interrupt. Where's the trim interrupt? Right there. See, it's guarded.
Yep.
You don't want to push it if you don't have problems. So you lift the guarded switch and you select interrupt. That's the number one. That's the first thing you want.
734. Starting to get
Fail trim determined. After you interrupt the trim, you're going to be head flying, and you see what the airplane wants to do.
Further north, someone else had a
If it's
complaint.
pitch down, you know, aileron, left, right, whatever it is, you have to determine.
330.
Fail trim circuit breaker, pull.
Thank you.
There's circuit breakers here.
It smooths out just north of Charles.
Thank you.
Brickyard 3257, contact Jack Center 1 at 32.42.
3242 Brickyard, 3257, see ya.
There, stabulator.
Jack Center, good evening.
Right there, you see it says aileron trim and stab trim. Whichever one is inoperative, that's the one you want to pull. If it's aileron, pull the aileron circuit breaker. If it's stab trim, put the stab trim. Then you go trim interrupt, switch normal. You go back to the guarded switch here and you go normal. If main stabulator trim has failed, alternate stab trim switch activate. There's an alternate stab trim switch we're going to activate, and you'll be able to do a stab trim with the alternate switch.
Do we have a trim like hand manual trim something?
No. No.
How you?
It's all electric trim.
Cactus 734, Fair Kingston.
The manual override.
Hey, Dirk Kingston Cactus 734.
That's pretty much it. That's going to end the checklist. So, let's talk about the trim system in this aircraft. So you kind of have a view of how the system works. Okay. How many trim systems we have here?
34, same Mach number.
We have aileron trim, we have horizontal stabulator trim,
Tax 734.
and we have rudder
You
trim.
maintain our Mach 7.
They're all electrically operated, okay? It's basically electrical switches on the control column and on the console. Aileron and horizontal trim operation are controlled by a switch on the outboard horn of each control wheel. See that outboard here? Yep. That's aileron and stab trim. Well,
900 Hotel Sierra, contact Washington Center 118.902.
118.902, 9 Hotel Sierra. So long.
Okay.
Good evening, Washington Center, Pilatus 9 Hotel Sierra. Follow 250 direct RDU.
Hotel Sierra, Washington Center. Good evening. Reset the transponder, squawk 3742.
Reset the transponder 3742, 900 Hotel Sierra. Back to trim. Rudder trim operation is controlled by a switch that's located on the engine power controller. This is engine power, torque. See that switch here, left, right?
That's right. That's a rudder.
That's rudder trim. Excellent. Prior to selecting pitch and aileron trim, press and hold the pitch trim and gauge switch located on the forward side of each outboard control wheel horn.
121.87.
Lufthansa 429 12187. Goodbye.
You see over here it says trim and gauge. Right there.
Yep. We're gonna press that and then this, right? That's
You push that
Push that to activate.
Push that trim and gauge switch, and then you're able to select pitch and aileron trim, okay?
That was the thing that we're looking for.
Now, pitch trim is accomplished by an electrically controlled actuator connected to the movable horizontal
Bravo
stake.
Alpha, descend and maintain flight level 2.
So there's basically a trim tab on the stab that is controlling
Down to flight level 260
pitch trim. It's
and
electrically
240 in the
driven.
transition, 0 Bravo Alpha.
There's a secondary trim motor. There's a secondary trim motor installed in the same actuator and is controlled by the autopilot and can also be used as a backup system, which is alternate stab trim by the pilot. So you have two ways to control the actuator. One is normal and one is a backup that's usually used by the autopilot. Alternate pitch trim can be accomplished by pressing the alternate stab trim switch in the desired direction. This is the alternate stab trim switch, and you can press up or down as necessary to use it as a backup.
That's for the up and down.
That's right. Now, the leading edge of the stab moves down for nose up trim and up for nose down trim. Leading edge is the forward section of that stab, okay?
2386,
At the root of the leading edge of the left horizontal stab, there's a trim range indicator which has markings to show the full travel in either direction and the takeoff trim range. This is the takeoff trim range right there. Yep. During the pre-flight inspection, this external trim indicator should be used to verify cockpit trim position indicator. So what you're doing is you're cross-checking outside, making sure that position,
Bravo Alpha, maintain flight level
that position of the trim is lined up with the indicator in the cockpit right in the range. Okay, very good. Now, we just did the checklist for the on-command trim, electric trim runaway. The POH says, in the event of an on-command trim operation, all trim operation can be stopped by pressing the trim interrupt switch located ahead of the engine control quadrant on the center console. Remember that guarded interrupt switch? Yep. You lift that guard and you hit interrupt, and then it's going to disconnect all the electrical trim.
Something with the flap, I guess.
It has the same thing with the flap, but we're not talking about the flap system yet. We're just talking about the trim. So let's review. If you have an on-command trim, autopilot disconnects, airplane starts nose down pitch.
Interrupt.
Very good. Push the interrupt switch.
Or you can
AC-41,